Do you love finding inexpensive items to use in your card making? Hi, I'm Jess from JessCrafts.com, and I'm here to help you make the most of your crafty time and supplies. So let's take a look. I have a handful of items that I have found at the Dollar Tree recently that I thought card makers would enjoy. I found cutting dies. They have both hearts and these leaves. I've tried them out and I shared that previously. Here's what the hearts look like. And they die cut beautifully. There's no concerns with them. So I will link you to that other video just to show you them. But I was able to find the leaves this time and they just seem like a great general thing to have on hand. I mean, you know, leaves are something you're going to use a lot. Then I found these rub-ons, and I have tried Dollar Tree rub-ons in the past and I had a bad experience, but these are like look a little bit different. And so many people have said they had positive experiences with Dollar Tree rub-ons. So I thought I would quickly give a few more a try. And so I'm going to just test them briefly in this video, not extensively, just to see if these are maybe a bit more successful because they're a bit different. Then this one here, I just thought this would be like a fun display because if you make cards, there's probably inevitably cards that you really like that you have made and you want to just hold on to for a while. I have some that like I've Copic colored that while I'm waiting to pass them on to a recipient, I just really enjoy having them in my craft room to display. Or you get cards from other crafters, and there's a number of ways to do this, but this one really stood out to me because it's so easy to change it out. You can hang and you could make something like this for yourself too, but you know, when it's $1.25, why not just purchase it? So it's a frame, the cardboard backing, you can hang it from this string, and then once it's on your wall, when you're ready to add a new card, you just unclip it. There's no like glass frame, and I had been looking for something like this for a while. I eventually found like a bigger one to display cards at the thrift store, but then I had to remove the glass, which was actually surprisingly difficult. So this was kind of exactly what I was looking for, and I like that it's nice and small because I can maybe put 2 or 3 cards and have them hung up quickly. There's a lot of other ways to display something similar, but I thought I would point this out just in case there's anybody like me who really likes to have handmade artwork in their craft room. And then there was this glue gun pad, which stood out to me because I have seen a lot of silicone mats out there recently because it was, for a long time, there was like the Ranger craft sheet, and that was the way to go for, you know, your ink blending and all that. And this is like marketed from them as a glue gun pad, but I thought this could be kind of fun for like a small surface to be doing your ink blending on, and then it's so easy to wash. Like you can submerge this in water, wrinkle it up, like it's 100% silicone, it's heat resistant, so I just find them like really easy to work with, and I have a number of other options. Like I have the waffle flower mat, which is cool because it has the borders. So like you can, you know, butt things up into the corner and have everything lined up nicely, which is kind of cool. But for $1.25, this is a pretty good option too. So I'll just show you quickly how it works. You use a glue gun, and I think there are many great reasons too, even as a card maker, then this could be perfect for resting your glue gun on. I assume similarly your heat gun, but you know, I would recommend following whatever the manufacturer's instructions are because it's heat resistant. It's not like, you know, you could apply this to flames and be fine. So what I would use it for though is for ink blending, because then I can blend right off the mat, and you can see that it's kind of hard to move this cardstock. I'll actually not hold the cardstock down. So here I'm not having to worry about, am I going to get fingerprints on the cardstock? Am I going to be transferring oil onto the cardstock? Because this silicone mat is holding it down. And I do generally prefer a white mat for this, just because I think it kind of shows the color a little better on video. But for most people, you're not going to be recording a video. You're just looking to have a couple of cheap mats on hand. And you can see I actually touched the cardstock here, and I'll bring it up a little bit. And that's leaving a little bit of oil behind and little fingerprints. It's very subtle, but it's there. And so when you want to be able to avoid that kind of thing, and you know, I can put a little more ink on it and lessen the effect, this is kind of nice because it just holds it down. You can see there's the extra ink all around the side, but especially because this is just dress ink, it's really easy to just spritz a little bit of water or use a baby wipe and clean it away. It was available in both blue and pink, so you could get what works for your craft room. And I kind of like having a couple because I'm guilty of, you know, stress ink cleans really, really fast off of it. But sometimes I'm like making a project and I've gotten it all inked up and I'm like, yeah, I'll clean that later, and I toss it off to the side. And having a few means that I can have a little pile to clean all at once. Try these rub-ons quickly. I wanted to try these gold ones because the last ones I tried were a similar sort of gold foil, and you know, maybe they'd made some improvements. So place that down and then rub. I'm gonna use a bone folder, I think. Maybe I didn't follow the instructions quite right yet. No, that appears okay. So that's what you're supposed to do. You remove that backing. I am noticing you want to be careful because if I push too hard, I'm pushing it out of place. I will say I did not look super closely at the sayings before I picked these up. I kind of just thought, like, of the choices of the golds, I liked some of the images in this one. So it says, be a flamingo in a lack of pigeons. I'm pretty sure it means a flock of pigeons. So typo there, that kind of makes that not the best sentiment, but that's why I'm using it as my tester here. And then, I don't know why it just says stand all by itself there. I assume you're supposed to kind of combine it with something else. I did also notice that they had the sentiment, today you are you, that is truer than true. There is no one alive that's youer than you. I'm pretty sure that's a Dr. Seuss quote from one of his books, and it's not credited. I'm not a big fan of like taking people's stuff without credit. And I know, you know, like there's all kinds of sayings, like, but that one's pretty specific from I think it's from, I can see the cover. Oh, the places you'll go. And like, that's a pretty long quote. You know, I understand some of the things like, be a flamingo, stay balanced. Like, they're probably not the first person to think of that. Okay, so I rubbed this on pretty good. And I want to see how it comes off. Okay, so these are so far seem to be working better than the last gold set. Even though these are like actually really delicate. But those transferred quite nicely. I'll bring it up to the camera just so you can see. So, you know, like I said, there's a couple, I had a little mistake with the W, so you probably be really careful with the particularly delicate ones, but I like that look because it gives you that look of like foiling without having to buy the expensive foiling machine and all that jazz. And so, yeah, be careful of typos, and kind of a bummer that, you know, it's an unattributed quote, but. Then these ones I really liked. These are like really pretty pumpkins. And this is what made me go, oh, I kind of want to try them again. I was so disappointed last time, but these are so pretty. They would make such beautiful card embellishments because you can't really get that effect with stamping. And to color that amount of detail with Copics would just be, I mean, take such incredible talent. This is like the kind of thing you'd get maybe in like a pre-printed die cut. And rub-ons are a little bit flexible in that you can put them wherever you want on the card. You can kind of layer them up and stuff too. So, yeah, it's a really pretty thing. I like them a little bit better than stickers. I think they just kind of look a little bit more sophisticated. And, yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of my personal preference. Okay, try to rub it. I'm kind of peeling it up gently in case there's any areas that seem like they didn't transfer, so that I can rub it a little bit more. I don't want to, like, you know, rip it off like a Band-Aid or anything here. And that looks gorgeous. I'm doing it on paper because I'm a paper crafter, and that's what I'm going to do it on. And this one I'll cut out and I can now use on a card. Obviously, it'd be preferable to put it where you want it on the card so you don't have to cut it out as a twice thing. The other thing is you would get this by like printing this image if you had a really nice printer. But really nice printers are really expensive. So again, a great alternative to something like, you know, finding an image on Creative Fabrica and printing it off. I have a nice printer, so I can do that. But I like this other option. Now this one, they had parchment paper, and I wanted to try that because I thought maybe they would transfer differently and be a different quality. And also this particular pack had these gorgeous owl and bunny. So we'll just see how these are. I tried to pick like 3 different ones to try because like I said, so many people just said they got great results with rub-ons and from the Dollar Tree, and I just didn't. Okay, here's what I'm noticing. This one is moving all around. That was not happening with either of these two. I was able to just kind of hold it down and it stuck. Not working for this one. So not a big fan, but let's see if I tape it down, if that would work a little bit better. I think I'm just gonna use a letter because honestly, I probably won't use these letters. Otherwise, rubbing down a whole sentiment is not really my thing. I just really liked those animals on the bottom. So if I put this down and I tape it down, let's see what happens. I'm gonna use Scotch tape because it's what I could grab quickly, but maybe use this tape that you could peel away and isn't gonna mess with your paper. Because I think when I pull up the Scotch tape, it will rip my paper. But something like a low-tack tape, a painter's tape would probably be a bit better. Okay, so with it taped down, there was still quite a bit of movement, and I'm not really getting a very clear image. It didn't transfer over as well. So this kind of reaffirms that your mileage will vary with Dollar Tree rub-ons, because these full color ones, gorgeous. Really, really impressed with those. Then these ones worked out pretty well too, although be careful with the delicate words. And then these parchment ones are, I don't know, for me, I would never buy those again. I think they were on par with those other ones. Were just really, really inconsistent results, difficult to work with. I hope you liked this look at some Dollar Tree items, and that maybe I've saved you some time or money by testing out some of these products that you might have been curious about or spotted at your Dollar Tree, and now you can think about whether it makes sense to go grab them for yourself. If you found this video inspiring, here's another video with some more ideas using Dollar Tree items or testing them out. Let me know you like this video with a share to your crafty community. Subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for product links. See you in the next video.